Hello, my name is Lily. I'm tuning in from Idlewild, California, and this sequence is um, perfect for beginners, really beginners. So, if you've ever been scared of going to a yoga class and you want to feel a little more confident about it, you can try these few poses with me first. Um, so let's go ahead and start in that comfortable seated position with one leg in front of the other. If you want to, you can sit up on a cushion or maybe a block. This is especially helpful if you kind of feel like you're leaning back a little bit. So just breathing. As you breathe, let's bring the shoulders up towards the ears and back down a few times. Kind of soften through the neck, the shoulders, getting all your crunchies out. And let's go ahead and on the inhale, open your arms, bending at the elbows, and the exhale, wrapping one arm on top of the other, rounding your spine, bringing your chin to your chest. As you inhale again, open, arching through the back. So your back is a little bit lifted, lifting through the chest, your core is engaged. As you exhale, rounding the back, crossing the other leg, the other arm on top. So we're going to inhale, open, exhale, round the back, bringing your arms together. And every time you round your back, you're going to switch the arm position. So the first time, once your arm is going to be your right arm on top, on the next one, the left arm on top. And then from here, let's reach the arms up. So come into a little twist, bringing your right hand behind your left hand on top of your right knee, spine nice and long. Just begin to awaken the muscles around your core. This is also a nice shoulder stretch, chest opener. A few times with your breath. Going side to side. Try not to lean back. That's something that I see a lot in beginner students. Kind of slouching a little bit. See if you can sit up nice and tall. And again, if you need to, you sit up on a cushion. And one more. That's it for our warm up. And then we're going to slowly come up onto your tabletop. Warming up the spine left with some next with some cat-cows, arching and rounding. Inhale to lift the tailbone, lift the chest. Exhale, round the back. You want your hands underneath your shoulders, fingers spread really wide. So you're spreading your weight of your body through your fingers and helping your wrist a little bit. Knees about hip width apart as well. Arching and rounding. Now from here, we're gonna go from a cow position, so you're arched back, to a child's pose position, rounding through the spine, bringing your hips down towards your heels. Inhale, come forward, and exhale, back down to your child's pose, sinking your hips back. Inhale, forward, cow position. Exhale, back, child's pose. In child's pose, maybe your hips are a little bit high, that's okay. Folding forward. These are all poses that will get better the more that you practice. Just keep in mind that there is any pain, then there might be something wrong, so make sure there's no pain, but good stretching. And inhale, come on up. From here, we're gonna come into standing at the top of the mat. So you're gonna walk your feet forward, make your way there however you like. It doesn't matter for now. And you're just going to let your head hang, let your arms hang, grabbing opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. So what you want here is not to around your back and too much. You might feel the stretch a little bit, but what you really want is to bend the knees a lot if you need to, if you have tight hamstrings, and drop your belly onto your chest, onto your thighs, and then you're using the weight of your head, the weight of your arms to track your spine. Now, as you get a little more flexible, you might start to strain out the legs. But for now, just keep your knees bent. It's better to be able to fold from your hips rather than your back. So if you're here, try to bend your knees and bend from your hips so that you're able to really stretch through your back. And then you can also pedal the heels here, one and then the other a few times. And then slowly come halfway, just halfway for now, so that you don't get dizzy. Sometimes being upside down for a little bit may cause some dizziness. So let's do some sun salutation. So standing with your feet hip width apart, we're going to start with your hands by your sides. This is going to warm up your arms and your spine. Inhale, reach your arms up. Slight back bend if that feels good. You can have your knees slightly bent if it feels better on your back. And then your back bend is coming from just below the ribs. Your lower body is more neutral and you're reaching as far as it feels good. On the exhale, slowly folding all the way down, just like we did in ragdoll. You can keep your knees bent. Inhale, come halfway, and for this pose, your back is straight. You're engaging your back muscles a little bit. Your core is pulled in. Exhale and fold, and then inhale, rounding up the spine, all the way up, reaching your arms up overhead. Exhale, arms back to center. So let's do that 4 more times. Inhale, reaching the arms up. On the exhale, folding forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. Drop the head. Inhale all the way up. Reach your arms up. Exhale, arms back to center. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up. Reach up. Exhale, arms back to center. 2 more. Of course, I'm doing this at my own pace. You can slow it down or you can speed it up. You want to be moving with your own breath. And last one. So it's 1, arms go up. 2, folding forward. 3, halfway up. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, 5. And exhale, 6, arms by your sides. So 6 different movements in your sun salutations. Alright, so if you have blocks are very useful, especially if you're a beginner. But if you don't have blocks for now, you can use books or anything similar to a block. So we're going to start at the top of the mat with your feet and your blocks and your hands all in line with each other. And then we're going to start stepping back. We do a lot of step backs and step forwards in yoga, so this is going to get you ready for that. Essentially, you want to maybe try to keep the knee and your foot in line with each other. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, switching, sending your leg back as far as it feels good. And exhale, forward. Maybe you can use your core to step forward. So we breathe in, you drop the hips, lift the chest. On the exhale, squeeze through your core, send your back leg forward. And keep switching side to side, feeling the stretch through your hip flexors, loosening up through the hips. Exhale back, inhale forward, always moving with your breath. just see that your knee stays in track with your big toe. You don't want to have a wobbly leg here, and then as you step forward or back, maybe you're rotating or twerking through your knee. So you want the knee and the toes in line with each other. And breathing. All right, next one is a low lunge, crescent lunge actually. So with your knee down, again, you can start with your blocks here. So eventually moving your blocks closer to you so that you're lifting through your chest a little bit more. Or maybe you put your hand on top of your thigh and then lifting your chest. So your lunge might at some point look like this, but you eventually want to bring that foot really high on your mat and think about bringing the buttocks towards your front heel. So you're going down and forward and lifting through the chest. Take a couple of breaths here. If there's any pain in your low back, try to squeeze through your core. And maybe you don't come up as high. This can be a back bend for a lot of people. So breathing, squeezing your core in, it's going to protect your back. Chest is nice and open, shoulders relaxed. And then you just breathe and kind of soften the sensations with your exhales. Now let's go ahead and do the other side. Stepping your back foot forward, sending your other leg back. One side might be a little bit different than the other. And then slowly walking your hands towards your hips, lifting through your chest. Again, you're trying to bring your hip towards that front heel. So we're going down and forward. And breathing and softening with your exhales through for the sensations. Belly is hugging in. Remember to relax your shoulders, not tensing any other part in your body. And then from here, we're going to come into a low lunge. So now your back knee is lifted, and then your hands are either on blocks or on the ground. And from here, low lunge twist. So we're gonna open the right arm. This is a closed twist. So your right arm is towards the sky. You're turning towards your front leg as opposed to an open twist where you're open, you're twisting away from your leg. So let's do a couple breaths here. Try to keep that back leg lifted. Squeezing through your core, twisting your ribcage open and reaching your arms away from each other. Let's come back to center, stepping forward. Other side. Right leg back. Right hand presses down. Remember to keep your fingers spread wide on that bottom hand so that you have more surface area to support your weight and it's not all on the wrist. Reaching the arms away from each other, twisting and using your core to twist your chest open. Back leg is lifted, extending back and back to center. We're gonna step back into a plank just for a moment and then bring your knees down. Another thing that we do in a vinyasa class a lot are vinyasas. So vinyasa essentially is a push up, and we can start this way, Just like a modified push-up with your knees down. Inhale, open through your chest, lifting, and exhale, pressing up and back into your down dog. So down dog can look, for a beginner, a little bit different. Essentially, you want to move from your plank to your down dog without moving the hands or the feet. And it's okay if it looks like this. It's eventually you want to drop your chest between your arms and send your hips nice and high. And your knees can stay bent. Eventually, straightening out through the legs. Relaxing through your neck and shoulders. So let's do another 2 more vinyasas. So coming into your plank, drop the knees, bring your chest down like a modified push-up, all the way down on the exhale. On the inhale, lifting the chest. And now from here, your elbows can stay bent. It's not a deep back bend. We're doing a baby cobra. And you're using your back muscles to lift yourself up. So try not to push with your hands. The hands can help a little bit, but you're using mostly your back muscles. And exhale, lifting up. If it's hard to come up into your down dog from there, come into a tabletop first. And then lift your hips up and back. Downward dog. Downward dog can be a little bit hard at the beginning, but it's going to make you really strong. So if you need to take breaks, go ahead and take a break, bring your knees down, and then come back up. Eventually, it gets easier and it becomes a resting pose. Inhale, let's come back into your plank. Lower the knees. Chest and chin come down, exhale. Inhale, lift up. Remember to use your back muscles instead of your arms. And then try not to shrug your shoulders towards the ears. Keep your shoulders away from the ears so your chest is nice and open. And then lifting up and back. Maybe you come up to your knees first. And a few more breaths in your downward dog. Now, if downward dog is a little too hard, like I said, take breaks. But another pose that can help you get to your downward dog is puppy pose. So we're gonna do that next. Bring your knees down, walk the hands forward, and then this one is different than your child's pose. So the hips stay high in line with your knees, and then you're trying to get your chest down between your arms. Maybe you bring your forehead down. Eventually you start getting closer and closer to the ground, so maybe you bring your chin. But this is more advanced. And then your chest, but this is more advanced. So just showing you for now. But here, wherever you are, just resting your forehead, or maybe even your arms, your head is floating. That's okay too. You're just trying to open through your chest, dropping your chest nice and heavy between the arms. Let go of the head, the hips stay high in line with your knees. And then slowly begin to bring your hands back into that tabletop position. And then lifting your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. From here, let's walk the feet to the top of the mat and come down to sitting. Rolling all the way down onto your backs, hugging the knees in towards your chest, rocking a little bit side to side. We're going to finish with a couple of poses to open the hips, to work a little more on twisting. So from here with the knees together, open your arms out into like a T. And then we're going to bring your knees, both knees over to your right. And then if this is too much, you can place a pillow between your knees. That will help you support your hips a little bit better until your spine is flexible enough to come into a full twist. And you can relax here for a few breaths. This pose is especially good for releasing the low back. You can also look back towards your left hand to kind of give your neck a little bit of a stretch. And let's come back to center. Bring both knees over to the other side. Reaching your right arm out. Soften through the low back. Couple more breaths. And coming back to center. Hugging the knees. A couple of options here. You can just hug the knees in towards your chest, releasing the low back. I see a lot of my my beginner students having trouble with the low back and the hips. So we're kind of focusing a lot on that area here. Once you're able to free your hips, a lot of it becomes much easier. But this is your final, your last pose. Either hugging your knees in, or option 2, hug one knee in while the other leg is straight onto your mat. This might feel really good as well. We'll do this one too, just in case. And then the other leg, just for a few more breaths. And happy baby. This is also a really good one. So you're kind of reaching between your legs to grab the outsides of the feet. So notice my arms are on the inside of the knees, not on the outside. And then you're pulling your knees down towards the ground. So if you can't do this one, start with just the knees hugging in, or doing one leg at a time. Okay, take a couple of breaths here. You can maybe rock a little bit side to side. That feels good. And even here, your chest is open. You're pressing your shoulders into the mat. And then finally, once you feel ready, stretch your arms and your legs. Relax onto your back for Shavasana. Breathing in and out through the belly. Give yourself a moment to relax before you continue with your day. Breathing deep into the belly. Relaxing the mind. And we take a moment to find some gratitude for yourself, for what you're able to do today. Stay here as long as you want. Trying to relax through your mind. And see you next time.